concerning one is that I ordered a accident report to be falsified. So this goes back to 2020. This is 5 years old. I get a call from the then chief of the Liberty Police Department, which was Scott Kinney, as she identified in the article. He tells me that his officer was involved in an accident. The sheriff's office investigated it. He's looking at his police officer's memo that the officer had to provide as part of their internal investigation, and the memo doesn't match the accident report. He tells me that the accident report does not say that the police officer had his emergency lights on. The accident report also does not say that he was in emergency operation.
So what is that? What's the significance of having the emergency lights?
So for a public safety vehicle operating under the New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law, that's something you'd want to know in the accident report. Were they just driving around making turns at random, or were they going somewhere? He apparently the police officer gets a call and turns on his lights and then makes a U-turn to go back up into the village and gets hit, or I should say collides with the car behind that was following behind him. So I tell the chief that I will take care of that. So I find out who investigated the accident. I direct the deputy and the sergeant who reviewed the accident to, take a look at it and make these corrections that the chief was asking for. So apparently they do that. They add that the police car was in emergency operation, had its lights on, and it made a U-turn.
Now, neither of the deputies witnessed the accident.
That is correct.
So the information in the accident report comes from the investigation, which means any witnesses that may be there.
They interviewed the two drivers.
That's going to be the witnesses to most accidents.
Right. So I directed them to amend the report. In fact, if you look at the report printed on the River Reporter website, it says amended report. So that's a normal thing that goes on in police agencies all over New York State.
As more information comes in,
sometimes they'll say, "Hey, you didn't put the right registration down. You didn't say this. You didn't say that." They go ahead and amend the accident report to reflect that the lights were on, that he was in emergency operation. Approximately, I want to say 6 months later, I hear that a video has emerged that was taken from a surveillance camera at the Panda Parlor, and that the video does not match up with the accident report, is what I'm told. Again, I'm hearing this as a rumor. I don't hear a complaint from the driver of the civilian car. I don't hear a complaint from Liberty PD. Approximately 2 years later.
So now, let me just stop you there. The video doesn't comport with the amended accident report. In other words, the video allegedly shows
that was the rumor. That was the rumor.
Okay, but that's what the allegations are.
this was such a trivial thing for me until that video appeared on the River Reporter website. I had never seen it because, it was so trivial. My understanding was the village was found at fault anyway and had to pay for the guy's damage, but there were no injuries. There was nothing really serious to this thing. So 2 years later, Lieutenant Slavic, approaches the sheriff and says, hey, this video doesn't match the accident report. And the sheriff's response was, 2 years later you're telling me about this? What's the story with that? So what we have here is Ruby Rayner claiming that Blake Muthig at Jack Harb's Section 75 discipline hearing made the statement that I ordered the accident report to be falsified. Now, the beauty of this is Ruby Rayner put that actual transcript on the website. And when you go to Blake Muthig's testimony, he never said that. So she puts down that Blake Muthig says, I ordered the accident report to be falsified, and then they put a line at the bottom of that paragraph, falsifying an accident report is a crime. So this is a serious allegation, and when you include my conversation with the chief of police in Liberty, that makes it a conspiracy.
Sure.
So that never happened. And what Blake Muthig actually says, he believes, and this is his opinion, that the first version of the accident report was more accurate than the second. I don't know where he gets that from, but I can tell you what is posted on the River Reporter website. She put the accident report, incident report, the amended accident report up there. You look at that accident report, you look at the video, and I challenge you to show me that those two don't match exactly.
So the video is there.
The video's up on the website.
The accident report is there.
Then the amended accident report, not the falsified accident report, the amended.
So the amended accident report and the video are identical.
Identical.
So when you get slandered or you get muddied up by non-truths, no one's there to say, oh, sorry about that.
And when you look at the video, you see the police car coming down the hill towards the Panda Parlor. The lights come on as he's pulling onto the shoulder. And he obviously wasn't paying attention. Initially, I was told that the car behind him T-boned him as he was into the turn, but really what happened was the car was trying to pass him at that point, and he turned into the car.
Thinking he's going to be pulling over.
Yeah.
Right.
In my opinion, the only thing that's up for debate in that accident report is the final statement that says that the civilian car did not yield to an emergency vehicle. as you see in the video and as described in both the incident report and the amended accident report, are exact. So I don't know where we're getting this from. But as you know, you throw out a headline, you make an allegation, and you know people aren't going to read however many 200-300 page transcript to see if it's true or not. But I'm telling you, you look at Blake Muthic's testimony, he never says Eric Chabot said to false.
But no one says, hey, Mike, sorry about that. We got it wrong. It doesn't work.
And again, just to be clear, if someone from the civilian car had called and said, I think that there's a mistake in this report, that information would have gotten into the report also. For our audience benefit, these reports are used every day in every court across the land. They're not dispositive of anything because neither of the deputy or the officer is often not a witness. They didn't witness the accident.
Correct.
This is what the two people said. Well, the two people can get on the stand and they can refute whatever they want to refute. That's a document. That's what's called in law a hearsay document. It can come in under a business records exception. That's not what we're here for today. But it's just a compilation of the information that was received. All right.
That is correct.
So
the important thing
Go ahead.
here is you got to watch the buzzwords.
Correct.
They're using the word change. I changed the accident report. Time to read a 300-400 page transcript. They just look at the headline.
I
It's
agree.
absolutely not true.
And folks,
100% not true.
So on behalf of the chairman, Rob Doherty, I am Mike McGuire. We thank the undersheriff for taking time out of his busy schedule to respond and give the folks in our audience the information that they're going to need to make ultimately a determination
Correct.
on who's best suited and best situated to safeguard our schools, our children, and our streets.